Yesterday, late in the night, Russian planes dropped air bombs on Sumy region near the border. In the city of Sumy, the bombs hit residential buildings. Fires broke out. Rescuers arrived at the scene immediately. They managed to pull out the injured from the rubble. However, 9 people, including 2 children, died. Russian planes also shelled the neighboring city of Ochtyrka. The residential areas were hit there too. The thermal power plant, which had been shelled before, was also damaged. Situation in Sumy region remains difficult. The city of Trostianets is temporarily occupied by Russian troops. In the previous 24 hours, the armed forces of Ukraine managed to destroy several Russian convoys in Sumy region. 14 occupiers were captivated. Rescue operations are underway at 2 oil depots that were shelled by the Russian occupiers yesterday. In the city of Zhytomyr, 140 kilometers from Kiev, 2 10,000 cubic meters tanks each caught fire. Not far from the city, in the village of Chernyahiv, 2 more tanks were also on fire. There are civilian houses just 500 meters away from the spot. People were evacuated immediately. Russian shelling was the reason of this inflammation. According to preliminary information, there are no victims. 100 rescuers were involved in extinguishing the fires in oil depots. As of this morning, the fire in Zhytomyr has been localized and put out in Chernyahiv. Violin sounds in the bomb shelter. A violinist and music teacher, Vera Litovchenko, turned the shelter into a stage in the ruined city of Kharkiv. With her music, she tries to support people during the shelling. What a Moonlit Night, a popular Ukrainian song, is in her repertoire too. 2 million people have watched the video of Vera playing on Twitter alone. Journalists from The Guardian, UK edition, have also noticed this piece of music. They have interviewed the musician about her experience of performing on such a stage. It was very difficult to play and think about something that wasn't the war. But I decided I must do something. We have become a family in this basement, and when I played, they cried. They forgot about the war for some moments and thought about something else. Now Vera Litovchenko dreams of getting out of the bomb shelter and starting to renovate Kharkiv. I don't need pity. I don't need to complain. I just need the bombing to stop. Then we will renovate. I need the war to end.
Europe is on the brim of a new nuclear catastrophe. This is Enerhodar city in Ukraine. The largest in Europe nuclear power plant is located here. Unarmed residents of the city came out to prevent the Russian occupiers from seizing the nuclear power plant. They understand that any damage to the plant will cause an environmental catastrophe, the next Chernobyl or Fukushima. It is no longer a Ukrainian issue. It is a possible threat for the whole of Europe and even the world. For the first time in war history, the Russian army has deliberately attacked a nuclear power plant. It is definitely an act of state terrorism. Even if the concrete walls of the plant will deter the impact, its transformers and turbines are defenseless against mortars and tanks. If they are damaged, there will be a leak of a radiation cloud, and only the wind knows where this cloud goes. Ukrainians defend their land courageously, but their strength is limited. The Russian army acts like terrorists, shelling hospitals, maternity wards, kindergartens, and civil neighborhoods. Putin's army will stop at nothing, even if it means a nuclear disaster. We live in a global world. There are no walls of sanctions or money that will protect you from this disaster. The larger ecosystem of the region covers not only the Black Sea and multiple rivers that run through Ukraine, but also dozens of European countries that are less than 1,000 kilometers away. The outcomes of the possible tragedy will be catastrophic. They will last for decades and cost trillions of euros to overcome, while every Ukrainian is defending Europe with their bare hands from Putin's evil intentions. What does the world do? Europe and Ukraine's allies must act as decisively as the Ukrainian people. Protecting and closing the Ukrainian sky is the #1 task to avoid this catastrophe, because radiation has no nationality and stops at no borders.